And now I just want to show you how these are used. Here is a woman in a healing ceremony. Here is the singer who is her principal chanter. The sand painting has been laid down, and she is sitting right in the center of it, absorbing its energy into her body, putting her back on what the Navajo beautifully call the pollen path of beauty, which is the path of the just life, the life in perfect accord, not only with its own order of forms, but with the order of the universe itself. The order of the universe and the order of the individual, just as in the material that I was talking about in our last talk, is one order. And the individual must not get out of order. If he does get out of order, sickness comes, and healing comes by being put back in the center again. And now I want to run through it again in a preliminary way, the healing of this little boy here whose grandmother has brought him to this shaman, this singer, for a healing ceremony. Here is the Navajo Hogan, a rather unimpressive looking building, but cosmologically and mythologically very, very impressive. The Navajo Hogan has 8 sides, 4 sides in the 4 directions, with the 4 points in between. And the eastern side always has the door, so that we always know which direction we're in when we're wandering in the Navajo country and come upon a Hogan. The east is always where the doors face. And just as in the sand paintings, the opening is in the east, so also in the Hogan. Now, what is happening here is the singer who's going to conduct the ceremony is chanting a litany in which he is enumerating the names of the various deities whom the young man, the boy here, the youngster, is going to have to know as operating for his cure. And here now is an early rite in the course of the ceremony known as the purgation rite. The boy is to go through a series of hoops here, purgation hoops. And here is the grandmother who's brought him. And in this way, as it were, he's going onto the pollen path of beauty by a guarded road, and the evil principle is being, as it were, purged from him by the loops through which he is going. And now comes a rather amusing ceremony known as the shock ceremony, which is the first thing to happen to the boy. He's going to be cured of something by shock. This is called the bear's den. We're now inside the Hogan. This is the bear's den, and this is where the bear sits. And you'll see the crossing here. We are familiar with this from our talks of the last 2 parts of the series, the first 2 parts. This is the center, the transcendent function, and here is where, in the middle of the cosmic order, the boy is to sit. Now he's going to sit in the bear's den, and here he is there sitting. You can see his face and feet, and he's covered with evergreen boughs. And now the shock is going to be when the bear comes in. And here's the bear. It's a great big fellow, all covered with evergreen boughs belted onto him, and he comes in, and the youngster is shocked. It's a little bit like that story of Goldilocks, or whatever her name was, and the 3 bears, who's been sleeping in my bed. Well, there's the boy caught in the bed, and so this is the sense of the shock ceremony. Now, the next thing I want to show is the boy after that shock going through the ceremony. This is the red ant way, as it's called. And this sand painting, which is going to be used for the first stage of the ceremony, is the blue corn sand painting of that series. Here are the different shamans who are assisting in the rite, and they're making these purgative hoops, which we've seen. And here's the horned toad sand painting being fashioned. You can see how that it's done. The shaman takes the sand in his hand and just runs it in a very skillful and impressive way over the top of the painting, letting the sand pour out. Here is the painting that the boy is going to be initiated through, and you can see from the relationship to the singer the size of the work. And these are elements of the rite that are all prepared for the ceremony. And finally then, here is the youngster himself seated and ready for the journey.